Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If it's your first time here, my name is George. I work on Japanese cars, my own for YouTube as well as customers' car. Today we're going to be looking at installing a boost gauge. Now past I think 5 videos I've been working on my Toyota Crown, converting it to manual. It's not quite finished yet, there's one last thing to do, and that is to install the emulator to trick the ECU into thinking it still has the automatic gearbox. Now before I do that, I want to up the boost a little bit, but to do that I want to know what the boost is actually running, so we're going to be installing this boost gauge. This says Grady, it's quite a nice packaging. I really doubt it's Grady because it costs about 50 quid. I'm gonna leave the link in the description below so you can buy it yourself. Even though it's clearly not a genuine part, it's actually quite nice. It works well. I've installed this before, so yeah, that's why I thought let's give it a go. Before we get started, please do me a favor, hit the like button, consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. Also guys, and 0.3% girls I think it is, consider buying some merch. I've got some new hats coming. This is one of the designs coming tomorrow. If I have some time, I'll put them on the website. Also, one of you leave a comment, any sort of comment you like under the video, and you can win this hat. I'm gonna send it anywhere you like, so yeah, whatever comment. Now let's get started. Now this is the box you're gonna receive, and let's get to open it. In there you'll have the careful there mate. You get the boost gauge itself. It's got a analog and a little digital dial, but it's actually a digital gauge. Together with that you will receive some line, which well, it looks like from your fish tank, so we're not going to be using that. As well as a T-piece. We've got the little brackets to put it on the dash, some cables, and the actual sensor itself, which we're going to leave in the engine bay. So yeah, let's open the bonnet and have a look. Under the bonnet, we're going to look for some vacuum lines. We've got some signal here for the recirculating valve. We've got some signal there by the turbo, but it's a little bit buried. We've got also another clean signal coming off the manifold. So I'm going to tap into this, and I'm going to run a line all the way along, and I'm going to mount the sensor right here, and then we can run the wiring under the ABS pump through the bulkhead hopefully, and under the dash. So I've got some 4mm vacuum line, and I've got all these little clips, so I really like using them. It makes it look OEM finish as well. So we're going to be using 6 and 9mm ones, depends on which end they're going to go. So yeah, let's do it. Let's remove this guy here, hope it'll come off easy or not. Let's help it. Okay, well that's it's okay because we've got the T-piece anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let's cut it shorter, and then we're gonna put that in there a little bit more. Gonna put that over there. Okay, then we get a short piece vacuum line. Okay, so it's done. It looks a bit like this, and I'm going to run the vacuum line along the firewall onto the other side. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get the actual sensor and bolt it down. That's it. And the vacuum line. Okay, so that's that vacuum side done. That's the easy bit. Let's get onto the wiring. Okay, so yet again we've got to remove everything under the steering column, just like we did for the manual conversion. So you've probably seen that. Let's do it. Under there will be a big rubber grommet. I think you just have to take my word for it. So I'm gonna get buried under the dash. There's no way of showing you, it's just very tight. I've got this tool that helps me pull the wiring through even with a plug on it. So let's do it. So let's pull through. I'm gonna put the plug through it and then tape it around so the plug doesn't get pulled off because it's still quite tight. And put some tape around it, something that's easy removable. It's just the white duct tape. And pull it back through. Fingers crossed, it's all gonna be good. Okay, so that's all been fed through. I'm just gonna cable tie to the bonnet release cable just to make it a little bit tidier. I'm just gonna mount the gauge somewhere that's not gonna look too silly. Oh, that doesn't look great, but dashboard is so curved, can't really see any other option. I'm just gonna turn the gauge a little bit so it's level. Now I turned it, seems a lot better. Now just run the wires. Seems like these are a bit too short. I need to extend them, which is a bit of a shame really. And then run the signal wire up the same way. All right, so I've just undone the rubber seal around the doors. Definitely gonna be long enough. I'm gonna plug in the signal wire. Just gonna get in your way, okay? So that's the signal wire. And put it behind the dash. Okay, that's okay. Now, unfortunately, as I said, I'll need to extend these wires. But let's do that now, quick. Okay, so I'm just gonna extend these 4 wires. I think we've got earth, we've got a permanent life, we've got ignition, and then illumination when the light comes on as well. So first up, we're gonna extend them, and then we're gonna find the right wires we need. So it's going to coat all the wires in solder. Now we've got solder on there, we should just okay, so that's that. Now let's do that because that's the earth anyway. We'll join these up later, but I can't do it just yet because you see I've got 2 red wires and I don't know which one's which. So I hope they are going to be long enough. Looks that way. I'm thinking let's label up what we've got so I can finish off the wiring. So that is Y for yellow, W for white. Okay, let's see if we can find a way to gain some wiring. No, doesn't seem like it. Alright, so we've got that there. Let's put the rubber back on so we don't have to worry about it dropping. Okay, first up, see if we can find some earth somewhere. I'm sure we can. Get this bolt all up tangled in. Yeah, one earth right here, so let's put a crimp on it and bolt it down. Okay, so that is for what was the red wire, which is this guy here. And I'm gonna wrap it around the exposed wire, which I didn't cut, but I only just stripped the okay. We've lost the solder. We've lost some solder. Solder. There we go. Heat it up. Drop off solder. No, cut it. It's alright, very good. Okay, now so we can't heat shrink obviously because we didn't cut the wire, so we're just gonna put tape around it. Should be good because obviously it's inside the car, so it doesn't need to be weatherproof. Now we need to find an ignition. First one. Okay, so that's the ignition there. Same thing, just gonna tap into the wire, which was originally for the yellow. Again, nice drop of solder, beautiful. Now, in theory, I still haven't wired the illumination cable where the boost gauge obviously dims when the lights are on, so it's not too bright. But in theory, I'm gonna take you guys. In theory, the boost gauge should now come on with the ignition if I've done everything right. If I haven't, I'll quit my job. Nothing? Okay, let's do some investigation. Okay, so I've unplugged it from behind. Let's see what we've got. Earth. Yeah, permanent 12. Yeah, and ignition. Okay, so in theory, that should be working. Now let's just check if I've plugged it into the right stuff from behind the clock. Not clock, boost gauge. Okay, it looks like there might possibly be another plug there. Just bear with me a moment. What? Alright, let's have a look at the paperwork. Okay, so I've got red one, which should be permanent live, going to this plug there, which is permanent live. Got this one here, at the moment is nothing. This cable here, it goes to yellow, which is switched ignition. So that is yellow, switched ignition. White we haven't got yet, because white is switched to light. Then we've got earth, goes to black. Oh, come on now. So that's permanent live, battery 12 volts. Now unless the permanent live goes, well, the live without the ignition goes off after the ignition turns on, it's fine. So it's on now, that's off, everything is the way it should be. Now what if I power this? The gauge works. Okay, that's interesting. So what if I turn the gauge on? Let's disconnect this. Okay, so that's now turning on, gauge is on. Now I'm gonna power what is here, the yellow cable, see if the illumination changes. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I figured it out. For some reason, this gauge from factory, somebody messed up the loom, and the white one is the switch ignition and yellow one is the illumination. So thanks for that. Sorry guys, let's do that now quick. So that confirms that boost gauge is definitely not genuine. Okay, we're gonna wire the white one in. Okay, I need to attend to my injury here. Okay, so that's that. Now, if I turn it on, it should come on. And it does. Okay, sweet. So that's sorted, not my fault. And now, under here, somewhere, hoping to find source of illumination 12 volt. Okay, so on this particular car, it seems like they switched earth and not positive, so can't really wire it in the illumination, so we're just gonna leave it as it is, and at night we're gonna get blinded. But yeah, there's not a lot I can do other than try to run a wire from the under the bonnet, and then I really don't want to do that, so we're just gonna leave this wire out. Okay, let's put everything back together. Okay, do you know what? That's it. Now we just need to take it for a drive, I think. Okay, so that's one boost gauge installed. Next up, we're going to be installing the boost controller, take it for a dyno, then install the emulator for the ECU so the car still thinks it's an automatic, and take it for a dyno afterwards to see whether the emulator actually makes any difference. For you eagle eyes viewers, yes, that's another crown. Doing another one. Shout out Matthew. He's gonna, I think there's one last thing to do, obviously, apart from the emulator, is to finish the gear sticks around properly. Now I've managed to find a nice little trim that fits. Now Matthew's a trimmer, so he's gonna do a nice little leather trim. Sorry about that, the planes are going again. Probably not holidays though. So now the only thing left is to take it for a drive and see what the stock boost of this particular car is. Okay, so we are at the drifting test center. The car is warmed up, so let's just see what is running. It looks like we are just under 0.7 bar. Yeah, same there. Okay, one more time. So we are at about 0.7, that leaves us with about 0.2, maximum 0.3 of a bar, which is about 3 psi more, 4 psi more. That won't be running out at the moment. So let's go in next time, and don't forget, like, subscribe, hats, the stuff I was talking about, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.